Okay, for today's demonstration, we will be talking about the VLOOKUP function. And to know more about the VLOOKUP is an Excel built-in function that searches for a value in one column based on a given value in another column. This formula is made of four parameters, or what we call your arguments. The first argument is the lookup value. This is the value you want Excel to search for. And the second argument is your table array. This is the cell range containing the lookup value and the value you want Excel to return. The third argument is the column index number. This is the column number in the given range containing the value you want Excel to return. And the fourth argument is the range lookup. This is an optional parameter. By default, the VLOOKUP function always returns an approximate match. So if you want an exact match, enter false. Alright. Now, based on the what we read earlier, we will now demonstrate the function of VLOOKUP. Now, we have here an example of your table array. We have here the name of the student. We have here the subjects and the grades. So we will be looking up for the name of the student here, and our VLOOKUP function should return the grades of that student based on the subject. So we have three examples. We have the single lookup, we have the two-way lookup, and we have the multiple results. Now let's start. Now this is where we will put our VLOOKUP function. So to start with, you can select the cell here, enter equal sign, you type in VLOOKUP, you press tab if you see the VLOOKUP pop up. Now, looking at the screen here, it's asking us to enter the first argument, which is the lookup value. So the value that we are looking up is the name of the student. So we select the cell for the name of the student, followed by comma. Next is we will highlight the table array. So this is our table. So we highlight the whole table, followed by comma. And for the third argument, it's asking us for the column index number. So by default, let's say we are looking for the grades for um, English, for example. So that's a column index. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's the third column. So we will insert here 3, followed by comma. And for the range lookup for our fourth argument, we just put false. This one. Enter. Alright. And that is your formula. Okay, so we have the first argument, the second argument, third argument, and the fourth argument. Now, let me correct this one first. Seems that we have a wrong spelling. Okay. Alright, so since we have here our we have your function here. So the reason why it's showing NA is because the lookup value is empty. Okay, there is no value yet. So if we're going to search for a name, let's say for example we have Bob. and you press enter, then the grades of Bob will eventually shown on the grades. Okay, so we have the English, that one, we have Bob, so that's basically 89. So let's try other name. We can have Mike, so that's 82, so which is correct. So we're done with our first single lookup. So next, let's go with the two-way lookup. Now this time is we are going to search for two value or two lookup value. We're going to search for the name of the subject and the name of the student. Then the grades will show here at the bottom. Okay. So again, let's start with this one. Again, VLOOKUP equal sign. Select the first argument followed by comma because we're searching for the name. Then followed by the table array, same function, and followed by comma. And for the third argument, for the column index number, this is where we insert another function. Since we are going to look for a second value, we are now going to use a function which is the name match function. So the purpose of this match function is for us to look for another value inside your main function, which is the VLOOKUP. Now, as you can see, it's asking you for another argument, another template. All right, and it's asking us for the first argument, which is the lookup value, and this time we will select the subject, followed by comma. And since we are looking for the subject, this time for the lookup array for our second argument, we're now going to highlight the subject or just the header. All right, and followed by comma. And we will select for the third argument the exact match, or you can put 0 there, and followed by close parenthesis and comma. All right, so we now have your first argument, which is the C17 cell. We have your table array, and we have your third argument. And for the last argument, we can put there false for the exact match, or you can put also 0 as equivalent, and close parenthesis and OK. So same with what we did earlier, we're going to search for a subject. Now this time, let's look for steno. And for a student, we have Bob. Now, if we're going to check Bob and steno, that is correct. Now we're going to change for the name of the student. Let's have Mike. So Mike got 89 for the steno. Now let's check the subject. If it's dynamic, we will change the subject into math. All right, math. So Mike got 86 under the math, and let's change it English. All right, so math, Mike got 82 in English. So which means that our function here is correct. And last, we have here your multiple result. Now this time we are going also to search for the name of the student, but this time it will be with multiple results, meaning one student will give us the three subjects or the three grades for the subjects. Now let's put our function here, VLOOKUP for the first argument, the name of the student, followed by comma, and second argument, table array, followed by comma. And for the column index number, again, we're going to use the match function. Match. And this time for the lookup value, we're looking for the subject. So since it's given, we can select this one, followed by comma. And for the lookup array, this one, followed by comma, and exact match for 0, followed by close parenthesis, comma, and 0 for exact match, and enter. So we're going to search for a name that is Bob. So Bob is 87 for math, which is correct. Now this time that the next step of action is to replicate the same um, function to the two remaining two cell or two subject. So to do that, we can simply move. But before you do that, let me show it to you. So for English, we have Bob is 89, which is correct, and Steno is 78, which is correct. So if we're going to search for a name, Mike, it will show you the correct data. 86, Math, English 82, Steno 89, which is correct. But there's a slight problem with this function. We still need to correct this because if we're going to check, if we double click this one, and it will show you the table for the first subject math, it is correct. But if we drag it to the next subject, if we're going to double check this one, you can see that the table also move. Same with steno. So if you are handling multiple data, so most probably you will not get the correct return value. So to to fix that one, we will need to adjust our formula to make it a static. So meaning that we need to make sure that our first argument here for the name, it should be permanent. And same with our table for the second argument, it should be permanent. And for our third argument here, same with the table, should be permanent, but we will make it the column as dynamic, meaning that it should be changeable. Once we move it, it should adjust, and the rows should be permanent because your subject is under row 12, this one. So it should be permanent. Okay, so to do that, we will need to adjust or put a dollar sign on your rows and columns so that it will be permanent. Okay, and on the third argument on the match lookup, we will put the dollar sign or the permanent sign just on the rows. We will not put a dollar sign before your column so that it can be dynamic. So if you press enter and we drag it to the other cell, so we have the same result. Bob, for example, we have Matt, so we have the same. But if we're going to check the table, that is correct, and the English, that is correct. So as you can see, the table is now permanent, the selection for your table. Unlike earlier, the it moves the table when you drag the formula to the other cell. So that's basically it for our VLOOKUP function with the single lookup, two-way lookup, and your multiple results.